So if you were one of the millions who caught the Great American Eclipse back in 2024, you know that feeling, right? The sky goes dark, the air gets cold, and for just a few minutes, it feels like the universe is putting on a show just for you. But hey, if you think that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, I've got some amazing news. The cosmos has a bunch of encores planned, and we're about to lay out the whole schedule for you.
I mean, look at that. There is absolutely nothing else like it. Seeing the sun's corona, that ghostly, beautiful outer atmosphere, is a sight that's normally totally invisible, washed out by the sun's own light. It's just a powerful reminder of the incredible cosmic clockwork that's always happening above our heads. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the answer to that is a huge yes. See, once you've stood in the moon's shadow, you're pretty much hooked. You become what they call an umberphile, a shadow lover, an eclipse chaser. So really, the question isn't if you'll see another one, it's where and when. So let's get into it.
Okay, but before we start looking up flights, let's get our bearings. You know, every great adventure needs a good map. Not all solar eclipses are created equal, and knowing the difference is what turns a nice little trip into a completely unforgettable experience.
So, the basic definition is pretty simple. NASA explains it like this. The moon just gets in the way of the sun from our point of view. But the real magic and the difference between something that's kind of cool and something that's absolutely mind-blowing, it's all about how perfectly everything lines up.
Right, so here's the deal. A total eclipse is when the moon completely blocks the sun. That's the main event, the one that lets you see that beautiful corona. A partial eclipse is, well, exactly what it sounds like. Only part of the sun gets covered. And then there's an annular eclipse. That's when the moon is a little farther away from us, so it looks smaller and can't quite cover the sun, leaving this incredible ring of fire. But for us, we're chasing totality.
All right, now that we've got our field guide, let's look at the map. Think of this as your travel plan for the world's greatest light show over the next few years. And trust me, the destinations are pretty spectacular.
And here they are, the next 3 big dates you're going to want to circle on your calendar. Each of these offers a totally unique adventure in a completely different part of the world. We've got one really cool partial eclipse and 2 absolutely breathtaking total eclipses coming up. First up, on September 21st, 2025, there's a really deep partial eclipse. Now, it's not total, but it's still going to be an amazing show. The best views are going to be in the southern hemisphere. Imagine this. If you're in southern New Zealand, you'll see a dramatic crescent-shaped sun right at sunrise. And for the really adventurous out there, Antarctica will see a whopping 86% of the sun blocked out.
Now let's talk about the big one for Europe. August 12, 2026. A total solar eclipse is going to sweep across Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain. You got to understand, this is a huge deal. It's the first total solar eclipse visible in mainland Europe since 1999. You're looking at a maximum of 2 minutes and 18 seconds of darkness, which is plenty of time to just soak it all in.
And then there's what might be the main event of the entire decade. On August 2nd, 2027, get ready for what a lot of people are calling the eclipse of the century. The path of totality crosses the southern tip of Spain, moves over a huge part of North Africa, including Morocco and Algeria, and then, get this, it passes right over the ancient lands of Egypt before heading to Saudi Arabia.
But this is where the planning gets really interesting. So the 2026 eclipse in Europe gives you a fantastic 2 minutes and 18 seconds of totality. Awesome. But just 1 year later, the 2027 eclipse in North Africa comes in with a jaw-dropping 6 minutes and 23 seconds of darkness near Luxor, Egypt. That is an almost unbelievable amount of time to be in the moon's shadow. For serious eclipse chasers, that is the ultimate prize.
Okay, so you're inspired. You've picked out your eclipse. Now what? How do you actually experience it without, hurting your eyes or messing around with your camera the whole time? This next part is all about being prepared. We have to start here, and I can't be clear enough about this. The sun is dangerously bright. Staring at it, even for a couple of seconds, can cause permanent, irreversible eye damage. This isn't a joke. And no, your regular sunglasses are not even close to being enough.
So here it is, the single most important rule of eclipse viewing, period. During all the partial phases, which is like 99% of the event, you must use certified eclipse glasses or a special solar filter. The only time it is safe to look with your naked eye is during those few brief moments of 100% totality. The second you see even a tiny sliver of the sun reappear, those filters go right back on.
So here are a few simple rules from NASA to keep you safe. First, always check your glasses or filter for any scratches or damage. If you see any, just throw them out. Always, always supervise kids, and never, ever look at the sun through a camera or binoculars or a telescope that doesn't have its own filter on the front, even if you're wearing your Eclipse glasses. The focused light can burn right through them.
Now for the fun part, how to capture the memory. And here's a fantastic piece of advice from a veteran NASA photographer, Bill Ingalls. He says, don't just point your camera at the sky. The most powerful pictures are often of the people around you, capturing that awe, that excitement, that shared feeling of wonder.
But if you are going to shoot the sun, remember these key things. Just like your eyes, your camera lens needs a certified solar filter on it. A tripod is absolutely essential to get sharp shots, especially when the light gets dim. And probably the most important thing, practice. Get comfortable with your camera's manual settings on a normal day so you're not fumbling around during those precious fleeting moments of totality.
So we've looked at the next few years, but the cosmic dance doesn't just stop in 2027. Oh no, not even close. This isn't just a short-term hobby. This can be a lifelong adventure if you want it to be. The sky has a schedule planned out for decades to come. Looking even further ahead, how about 2033? Totality comes back to the United States, this time over the wild and rugged landscapes of western Alaska.
Then, in 2044, the shadow makes another appearance, touching down in North America and racing across parts of Montana and North Dakota, right around sunset.
And you're going to want to mark your calendars for this one. August 12, 2045. Another great American eclipse is going to sweep from coast to coast, from California all the way to Florida, giving millions of people another chance to stand in the shadow of the moon.
So there you have it. The invitations from the universe are out, from the icy landscapes of Iceland to the ancient sands of Egypt, and eventually right back to the heartland of America. The only question left is, where will you be?